जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीर वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर श्री राधे। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम। जय गौरनिताय 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 जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदहि डिवाइन ग्रेस चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत महाराज स्वामी शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदहि डिवाइन ग्रेस शिला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज शिला प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य शिला हरदास ठाकुर की। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्त वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की। नवद्वीप श्री मायापुर धाम की। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की। गंगा माई जमुना माई की। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Gaur Hari Bol. So today we are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila. This is chapter 4th. And today we will read 34th number shlok. Chapter is entitled The Confidential Reasons for Lord's Appearance. A beautiful shlok from Srimad Bhagavatam, Ras Panchadhyaya. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamashrita bhajate tadrishi krida या श्रुत्वा तत्परो भवेत्। अनुग्रहाय भक्तानां मानुषं देहमाश्रिता भजते तादृशी क्रीडा या श्रुत्वा तत्परो भवेत्। अनुग्रहाय भक्तानां मानुषं देहमाश्रिता भजते तादृशी क्रीडा या श्रुत्वा तत्परो भवेत्। अनुग्रहाय भक्तानां मानुषं देहमाश्रिता भजते तादृशी क्रीडा या श्रुत्वा तत्परो भवेत्। अनुग्रहाय भक्तानां manusham dehamashrita bhajate tadrishi krida ya shrutva tatparo bhavet anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamashrita bhajate tadrishi krida ya shrutva tatparo bhavet. Mataji. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamashrita bhajate tadrishi krida ya shrutva tatparo bhavet. Word to word meaning. Anugrahaya, for showing favor. Bhaktanam, to the devotees. Manusham, human like. Deham, body. Ashrita, accepting. Bhajate, he enjoys. Tadrishi, such. Kridaha, pastimes. Ya, which. Shrutva, having heard. Tatparaha, fully intent upon him. Bhavet, one must become. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Krishna manifests his eternal human-like form and performs his pastimes to show mercy to the devotees. Having heard such pastimes, one should engage in service to him. Purport. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:33-36. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has innumerable expansions of his transcendental form, who eternally exist in the spiritual world. This material world is only a perverted reflection of the spiritual world, where everything is manifested without inebriety. There everything is in its original existence, free from the domination of time. Time cannot deteriorate or interfere with the conditions in the spiritual world, where different manifestations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are the recipients of the worship of different living entities in their constitutional spiritual positions. In the spiritual world, all existence is unadulterated goodness. The goodness found in the material world is contaminated by the modes of passion and ignorance. The saying that human form of life is the best position for devotional service has its special significance, because only in this form can a living entity revive his eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The human form is considered the highest state in the cycle of the species of life in the material world. If one takes advantage of this highest kind of the material form, one can regain his position of devotional service to the Lord. Incarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead appear in all the species of life, although this is inconceivable to the human brain. The Lord's pastimes are differentiated according to the appreciating capacity of the different types of bodies of the living entities. The Supreme Lord bestows the most powerful benediction upon the human society when He appears in His human form. It is then that humanity gets the opportunity to engage in different kinds of eternal service to the Lord. Special natural appreciation of the descriptions of a particular pastimes of Godhead indicate the constitutional position of a living entity. Adoration, servitorship, friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love are the 5 primary relationships with Krishna. The highest perfectional stage of the conjugal relationship, enriched by many sentiments, gives the maximum relishable mellow to the devotee. The Lord appears in different incarnations as a fish, tortoise, and boar, as Parshuram, Lord Ram, Buddha, and so on, to reciprocate different appreciations of the living entities in different stages of evolution. The conjugal relationship of the amorous love called parakiya ras is the unparalleled perfection of love exhibited by Lord Krishna and his devotees. A class of so-called devotees known as sahajiyas try to imitate the Lord's pastimes, although they have no understanding of the amorous love in his expansions of the pleasure potency. Their superficial imitation can create havoc on the path of advancement of one's spiritual relationship with the Lord. Material sexual indulgence can never be equated with the spiritual love, which is in unadulterated goodness. The activities of the sahajiyas simply lower one deeper into the material contamination of the senses and mind. Krishna's transcendental pastimes display eternal servitorship to Adhokshaja, the Supreme Lord, who is beyond all conceptions through material senses. The materialistic conditioned souls do not understand the transcendental exchanges of love, but they like to indulge in sense gratification in the name of devotional service. The activities of the Supreme Lord can never be understood by irresponsible persons who think the pastimes of Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa to be ordinary affairs. The Rasa dance is arranged by Krishna's internal potency, Yoga Maya, and it is beyond the grasp of materially affected persons. Trying to throw mud into transcendence with their perversity, the Sahajiyas misinterpret the sayings Tat Paratvena Nirmalam and Tat Paro Bhavet. By misinterpreting Tadrishi Krira, they want to indulge in sex while pretending to imitate Lord Krishna. But one must actually understand the imports of the words through the intelligence of the authorized Gosvāmīs. Śrī Narottam Das Thakur in his prayers to the Gosvāmīs has explained his inability to understand such spiritual affairs. Rūpa Raghunātha pade haibe akuti kabe ham bujhabe se yugal piriti. When I shall be eager to understand the literature given by the Gosvāmīs, then I shall be able to understand the transcendental love affairs of Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa. In other words, unless one is trained under the disciplic succession of the Gosvāmīs, one cannot understand Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa. The conditioned souls are naturally averse to understanding the spiritual existence of the Lord. And if they try to know the transcendental nature of the Lord's pastime, while they remain absorbed in the materialism, they are sure to blunder like the Sahajiyas. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. हे श्री सनातन प्रभो करुणाम्बराशे हे रूप दुर्गत जनैक दयावलोक हे भट्टयुग्म सुमते रघुनाथ दास श्री जीव में कुरुत मंदमते हृदयांतरान् यत्कीर्तनं यस्मरणं यदीक्षणं यद्वन्दनं यच्छ्रवणं यदर्हणं लोकस्य सद्यो विधुनोति कल्मषं तस्मै सुभद्राश्रवसे नमो नमः। आजानुलम्बितभुजौ कनकावधातौ संकीर्तनैकपितरौ कमलायताक्षौ विश्वम्भरौ द्विजवरौ युगधर्मपालौ वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं हृदयस्य प्रेरणया प्रवर्तितोऽहं वराकरूपोऽपि तस्य हरे पदकमलं वन्दे श्रीचैतन्यदेवस्य. Hare Krishna. So today's shlok is very beautiful shlok, and it mentions the purpose why Lord Krishna descends into this material world. Actually, this shlok is from Srimad Bhagavatam, the last chapter of the Ras Panchadhyaya, where Sukadeva Goswami was describing about the Ras Lila of Krishna, and in between Parikshit Maharaj suddenly he asked a question from Sukadeva Goswami that Lord appears into this material world in order to establish dharma, sansthapanaya dharmasya prashamaya itarasya cha. That actually he comes to establish dharma and prashamaya, to destroy the adharma. Then how can he behave in such a way that is contrary to the principles of dharma? Sakatham dharma setuna vakta karta virakshita pratipam acharat brahman paradara bhimarshanam. That he is the vakta of dharma, he is the speaker of the dharma. For example, he spoke Bhagavad Gita, he spoke Uddhav Gita. All the Bhagavad Dharma, Bhakti things, he only has spoken. Ye vai Bhagavata prokta upaya hi atma labdhay. 11th canto, the Yogendras say to Nimi Maharaj that all the Bhagavad Dharma is spoken by Lord himself. So he is the Vakta, he is the speaker of the Dharma. Karta, he himself follows Dharma. Actually, he doesn't need to follow these things. In Bhagavad Gita, he says that all my desires are fulfilled. I don't have any desires which is left to be fulfilled. So, but still I do in order to set up an example. So he is Karta and Abhirakshita. He is the protector of Dharma. Whenever there is some decline in Dharma, religion, he himself comes in order to set right the things. So he is the speaker of Dharma, he is the follower of Dharma, and he is the protector of Dharma. Then why is he acting in such an immoral way that he is dancing with other men's wife? How we understand this? Parikshit Maharaj asked this question to Sukadeva Goswami. Then Sukadeva Goswami does many things, and this one shlok is from there only. In this shlok, Sukadeva Goswami explaining that why actually Krishna appears, what is the purpose of his appearance. The purpose of his appearance is to perform such pastimes and attract the hearts of the living entities to these pastimes. The purpose is mentioned, purpose of the appearance of Krishna is mentioned in various places. Like in Gita also it is mentioned, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna tells that I come to this material world in order to protect my devotees and to destroy the miscreants and to set right the religions. So three things he has mentioned in this verse, that in order to protect the devotees and destroy the miscreants and set up dharma. Out of these three, the first one is the foremost important, and the last two, they are not so much important, because curbing the irreligion and destroying the miscreants, establishing dharma, that Lord can do through his shaktis also. Lord has a lot of shaktis. Parasya shakti vibhaya shruyate swabhaviki jnana bala kriya cha. The jnana bal and the action shakti of the Lord, they are swabhaviki. On its own, things are being performed. Lord mere desires and things happen on its own. So, killing the demons, establishing dharma, Lord can do by his mere will. If there is some strong demon, Lord can only desire, let this fellow get heart attack. Immediately he will get heart attack and he will die. His sankalpa shakti is like that. But the main reason why Krishna appears is paritranaya sadhunam, in order to protect the devotees. Now, protection can be at different levels. At one level, it can be the protection of body. That is also very important, but that is not the major thing. The body anyway will dwindle and people will die. The body will anyway fall apart. It has to die. But the main reason why Krishna appears is the protection of the devotees, protection from the separation of the Lord. The devotees, they are separate from the Lord. all the living entities, what to say of devotees, they are separate from the Lord, and because of this separation from the Lord, they are suffering. So the main reason why Lord appears is to attract the hearts of the living entities towards His lotus feet. So this is what it is mentioned in this verse. Anugrahaya bhaktanam. Anugrahaya bhaktanam means to show compassion to the devotees. Lord appears into this material world. And in this material world, Lord performs pastimes, beautiful pastimes with His devotees. Through the medium of those pastimes, He attracts the hearts of the living entities. This is the reason, main reason why He appears. Chaitanya Charitamrita Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Prema rasa niryasa korite aswadana raga-mārge bhakti loke korite pracharana. Prema ras niryas korite aswadan. In order to taste the transcendental mellows of love, Lord appears. This is one reason. And another reason is rāga-mārge bhakti loke korite pracharan. In order to propagate the devotional service in the mood of rag, spontaneity, Lord appears. So how does He propagate that? By showing through His own example. That see how in my Lila I love my devotees and my devotees love me. So this is very in great detail it is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. So this 10th canto is like an advertisement by the Lord. It is like the window of the spiritual world where Lord is telling that see how I am, see how my devotees are, see how both of us love each other. And through these Lilas, through these pastimes, He attracts the hearts of the living entities. This is just like an advertisement. For example, if you go to some embassy, let's say you go to US embassy in India, then they will put all the pictures of different places in USA. So what is the purpose? People see those places, those pictures, and they get attracted, get a desire to go to USA. This is the main purpose. So similarly, Lord also comes and exhibits these pastimes to attract the living entities to His lotus feet. So this is like an advertisement by the Lord. See how I am. You are not meant to reconcile with the miseries of this material world, to reconcile with the agonies, trials, troubles, tribulations, to face the problems of this material world. Actually, you are meant to come back to Godhead, come back to my pastime, serve me, like that. So, anugrahaya bhaktanam. In order to show anugraha, compassion to the devotees, Lord descends to this material world. Somewhere it is also mentioned bhutanam. In some versions of Bhagavatam, it is also mentioned bhutanam. Here it is mentioned bhaktanam. So both versions are correct. Anugrahaya bhutanam or anugrahaya bhaktanam. In general, to show compassion to all the living entities, or especially to show compassion to the devotees. In Gita also it says Svardam Sarva Bhutanam. So Bhutanam is all the living entities. In order to show compassion to all the living entities, Lord is Suhit, eternal well-wisher of all the living entities, so He comes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also says, Jivera karane asiya prapanche lila koile suvistara gopinath. Jivera karane asya prapanche lila koile suvistar. That in order to show mercy to the living entities, you come to this material world and exhibit your pastimes. So Lord wants to show mercy to His devotees or people in general. Why? Because when Lord comes to this material world, people they exhibit different feelings towards the Lord. Some love the Lord in different moods, as a lover, as their child, as their friend, and Krishna also reciprocate in a similar way. In 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st chapter, Narad Muni is telling Kāmāt, Dveshat, Bhayat, Kansha, like different people, they love Krishna or they exchange different feelings with the Lord. Kāmāt, Dveshat, Bhayat, Snehat, Yatha Bhaktya Vayam, like that is, Yatha Bhakteshware Manaḥ, Aveshyatadagam Hitva, Bahvas Tadgatim Gataha. Like when Lord comes, then some people, they love the Lord. Kama dveshat. Some people hate the Lord. Some people are fearful from the Lord. And some people, they establish some relationship with the Lord. And there are some people who do devotional service to the Lord. Whatever thing they do with the Lord, they get benefited. Because it is the nature of Krishna. Anyway, somehow the other, somebody comes in contact with Krishna, they get benefited. In the next slok he tells that who all got attracted through what feelings. And Gopya kamat bhayat kansa dveshat chadya dayo nripa. Like gopis, they got attracted towards Krishna by kam. Kam actually means lust, but here the meaning is love. The love of gopis is also called kam in various places. Premayva go paramana kama gamat pratham. The love of the gopis is called kam in many places. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, many places it is called. In order to give an feeling that what exactly that love is. So kamat gopyo bhayat kansa. Kansa was very fearful towards Krishna. He always was fearful that Krishna will come and kill me. Dveshat chadya daya nripaha. The Chedira, Shishupal, he was envious of Krishna. He hated Krishna. And sambandhat vishnaya snehat yuyam bhaktya vayam vibho. That the Vrishti Vanshis, the Dwarkavasis, they think Krishna as their relative. And all of you, the Pandavas, you love Krishna. And we, Narad Muni is telling, I and all the sages, we do devotional service to Krishna. So whatever relationship one was to establish with Krishna, one will get benefited. In order to benefit the living entities, Lord comes to this material world. Anugrahaya bhaktanam or bhutanam. Manusham deham ashrita. Lords take shelter of the human form. Manusham deham ashrita. Ashrita, or somewhere it is asthita also. So both have the same meaning. Ashrita means once Lord takes shelter of the human form. So it appears that Lord has some other form and he is appearing in human form. So this needs to be understood very carefully. Lord appears in the human form means he appears in a human-like form. Actually the Lord is not human. And the human beings appear similar to the Lord. The Lord is Lord, God is God, Krishna is Krishna. Gajendra Maharaj says, Sa vaina deva surmartetiryan na stri na shando na puma na jantu nayam guna karmana sanna chasan nisheda shesho jayata sheshaha. That, O Lord, you are neither demigod, you are neither an asura, you are neither a human being, you are neither a male, nor you are a female, nor you are a neuter gender. Then who are you? You are Lord. So Krishna is Krishna, he is only one of his kind. So he comes in a human-like form. Manusham deham ashrita means he comes in a form that appears similar to the human beings. Appears similar to the human being, but it is totally different. So this line tells about the divinity of Krishna's body. Actually, the Krishna is Satchidananda. From the toenail to the tip of the hair, each and every part of his body is Satchidananda. It is not made of the 5 elements like our body. So this is one meaning. Another meaning is that Manusham Deham Ashrita. He exhibits his body in such a way that he becomes visible to the human society. Actually, in general, Lord is not visible to the human society. But when he appeared on this planet Earth 5,000 years ago, then he was visible to the human society. Anybody who is walking on the street, he can see the form of the Lord. So that is called the Prakat Lila. Still also the Lila of the Lord is going on, but we cannot see it. That is called a Prakat Lila. So when the Lord appeared 5,000 years ago, he appeared in a form which human beings can see through their eyes. Because the nature of the eyes is, the nature of the Supreme Lord is that he cannot be seen by the eyes, mundane eyes. He is called as Adhokshaja. But at that time, the situation was that Lord was visible by the mercy of the Yoga Maya potency. The Lord was visible to the eyes of all the living entities. This is called Manusham Deham Ashrita. He became visible to the people on the surface of planet Earth. It's called Manusham Deham Ashrita. So those people, they were very fortunate. They were able to see the Lord. They were able to speak with the Lord. They were able to touch the Lord, embrace the Lord. So they were really very fortunate. But we, who are born 5,000 years later, we are also not less fortunate. Because we have the opportunity to hear about the Lord and get the same benefit as these people. We may not be able to see the Lord through our eyes, but we can see the Lord through our ears. Because bhajate tādrishi krīdā yat śrutva tat paro bhavet. Lord performed such sporting pastime. Bhajate tādrishi krīdā ya śrutva tat parah bhavet. by hearing those pastimes, one can become tatpara, one can become dedicated to the Supreme Lord. So we also can reap the same benefit which the residents of Dwarka, Vrindavan, Mathura, they got when they were directly associating with the Lord. How? By hearing about the Lord. So in the matter of transcendence, actually there is no difference in seeing with the eyes and hearing with the ears. There is actually no difference. One can get the same benefits. Many times Srila Prabhupada used to say that Arjun, when he was directly hearing Bhagavad Gita from Krishna and the battlefield of Kurukshetra, whatever benefit he got, we also can get the same benefit by hearing from authorized bona fide sources. So actually the devotees hear through ears. In 3rd canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmaji, he says a very nice slok. Tam bhakti yoga paribhavit hrit saroja asya shutekshit patho nanunath pumsam yad yad dhiya tavrugaya vibhavayanti tat tat vapuh pranayase sadanugrahaya. So he says, your devotees, they hear through their ear, they see through their ears. Śruti-ikshit patha. Their ears only become their eyes. And through their ears, they hear about your glories, and through the channel of their ears you enter into their heart, which has been cleansed by the process of the devotional service. Bhakti yoga paribhavit hrit saroja. Their hearts are been cleansed by the process of devotional service, and in that those heart you manifest your form, and the form which you manifest is that form which they desire to see. Whatever form they meditate upon, you appear in that very form within their heart. So there the word is Śruti-ikshit patha. Their karn, their ears only become the eyes, and through their eyes, through their ears they hear, they see you, like that. So actually there is no difference between seeing the Lord through the eyes and hearing about the Lord in the matter of transcendence. Both can have the same benefit. One can reap the same benefit. One can get the same destination through both the processes. In fact, in some of the cases, hearing from the ears is considered more important by the devotees. In Srimad Bhagavatam, throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, you see many devotees have got darshan of the Lord, and Lord is there in front of them. And what they are asking from the Lord, oh Lord, please give me the association of the devotees, so that in their association I can hear about you. And Prahlad Maharaj is praying in like that way. We see Dhruv Maharaj is praying in the similar way. Bhaktim moho pravatam tvai me prasango bhuyadanantam mahatam amalashayanam yenanjasol badamuru vyasanam bhavabdhim neshye bhavadgun kathamrita panamattaha. He says, oh Lord, please give me the association. He is calling the Lord as Ananta. Oh Lord, you are Anant, your glories are Ananta. Ananta means unlimited. You are unlimited, your glories are unlimited, your pastimes are unlimited. So please give me the association of the Mahatmas, great souls, Amalashayanam, whose hearts are purified by your devotional service. Why? Because they are constantly flowing the nectar of your pastimes, of your qualities through their mouth. And by hearing those pastimes, Mahatgrun, I will become matta, I will become intoxicated by hearing those pastimes. And by hearing those pastimes, I will become intoxicated, and by getting intoxicated, I will easily cross over this ocean of the material existence, which is filled with difficult forest-like fires. Like that Dhruv Maharaj is praying. Prithu Maharaj is also praying in a similar way. Na kamaynat tadapyaham kvachit na yatra charanam na yatra yusma charanam bhujasavaha mahadmukhantar hridayat mukhachito vidatsvakarna yutayesha me varaha. He is saying that although people want liberation, but I don't want any liberation, because there is in those liberation, there is no topics about you, O Lord, about your glories. What I want the association of your devotees, and in that association of the devotees, I want to hear about that Krishna, about you. And for hearing, please give me millions of ears so that I can hear. So devotees are seeing the Lord, but what they are asking for the association of the devotees, so that in their association they can hear about Krishna. So hearing process is even more important than directly seeing the Lord. Hearing through the ears. Bhajante tadrishi krida. So in order to show mercy on the living entities, Lord performs such pastimes, and those pastimes are called krida. Krida means sports. Krida means playing. So the pastimes of Krishna are especially sporting pastimes. Dancing with the gopis, dancing on the hoods of Kaliya, pastimes with the Mother Yashoda, with the cowherd boys. They are sporting pastimes. They are not like simple pastimes like Lord Ramchandra or Lord Kapil Dev giving jnana. They are like sporting pastimes. So the word krida is used. Krida means playful pastimes, like that. You perform such playful pastimes, and ya shrutva tat paro bhavet. After hearing such pastimes that you performed with your devotees, tat parah bhavet. A person becomes tat paraha. Tat refers to the absolute truth. These three words, Om, Tat and Sat. In Bhagavad Gita it is told, it refers to the absolute truth. Om, Tat, Sat. So Tat Paraha. You become, the devotees become your lovers. They make you as their life and goal. Tat Paraha. So before we make Krishna our life and goal, we have to make Krishna Katha as our life and goal. So this is the process. Before we lending our hearts to Krishna, we have to lend our ears to Krishna. Because once we hear about Krishna, then a devotee becomes Tat Paraha. That he becomes devoted to the Supreme Lord. This is one meaning. Another meaning can be, Krishna performs such pastime that after hearing his own pastimes, he becomes tatpara, he becomes very attentive after hearing his own pastimes. So the Krishna Katha is very dear to the Supreme Lord himself. Bilva Mangal Thakur has written a granth that is called Krishna Karna Amrita. Krishna Karna Amrita. It is like nectar to the ears of Krishna. So the Krishna Katha is nectar to the ears of Krishna. Shrinavatām Swakatha Krishna. Krishna, he likes his own Katha. So when he hears that somebody is, when he sees that somebody is hearing my Katha, then he becomes very attentive. And he immediately wants to benefit, wants to clean his heart. Shrinavatām Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidhunoti svirsatam. The Lord, who is very dear to the devotees, when he sees that somebody is hearing about him, immediately he enters into the heart and cleanses the heart. So this is the process actually. Bhajte tadrishi krida yashutva tatparo bhavet. One becomes tatpar. So the pastimes of the Lord are for this purpose only. Kunti Maharani also says the similar thing. When she comes to the topic that why Krishna appears, so she tells many reasons. That you appeared on the prayer of Lord Brahma to diminish the burden of this planet Earth. You appeared to give glory to Maharaj Yudhishthir, to Yadu Maharaj. Like that she tells many reasons. But ultimately at the end she says, Bhaveshmin Klishyamananam avidya kama karma bhi shravan smaran har arhani karishyanniti kechana. That actually the people on this world, they are being tormented by the problems of this world. And what is the reason of this problem? Avidya kama karma bhi, the ignorance. And because of the ignorance, avidya means ignorance, because of the ignorance people get sinful desires, kam, lusty propensities. And because of those lusty propensities people do sinful activities, karma bhi. So because of the avidya, ignorance, the sinful propensities and the sinful activities which living entities perform, and they are being tormented by the miseries, klishyamanana. And in order to protect the living entities, you perform the pastimes so that they can hear about your pastimes. You give a subject matter to the people in this world for hearing, for remembering, and shravan smaran arahani, for worshipping. That is why those people who engage in your hearing, in hearing, in reciting your pastimes, in remembering your pastimes, they are very fortunate. Very soon they will be able to see you. This is, she says in the next slok. Shadvanti gayanti grinanti abhikshanasa smaranti nandanti tave hitam jana taeva pashyanti achirena tavakam bhava pravaho paramam padambujam. That those who engage in your shadvanti, hearing, gayanti, singing, grinanti abhikshanasa, repeatedly repeating those pastimes, and those who remember those pastimes, and if somebody is doing hearing and chanting, they are acknowledging that, they are appreciating that. This is called abhinandanti. If they do that, achirena, very quickly they will see your lotus feet. And what is the result of seeing your lotus feet? That all their material miseries will go away. Like that. So this is the purpose actually why Lord comes and performs these pastimes. The pastimes of the Lord, they are totally on the platform of love. They are not on the platform of lust of this material world. Especially this very shlok is spoken in the Ras Lila. So all these pastimes, they are to attract the hearts of the living entity. It appears from the external point of view, it appears that they are similar to the mundane affairs of this world, but there is a huge difference. There is a gulf of difference. The difference is like that of iron and gold. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Kam andhatam prem nirmal bhaskar. The kam, the lust of this world is like darkness, and the prem is like sun. It is brilliant like the sun. Guru Maharaj says that the difference is just like the difference between mishri and fitkiri. Mishri means the sugar candy, and fitkiri is the potash alum, which people use after doing shaving. If somebody gets cut, they use that alum. That is called fitkiri. And so both appear to be similar. They appear similar, but once one take this sugar candy, it's very good to taste, and whatever one eats, it gets digested very quickly by the help of sugar candy, mishri. But if somebody puts little bit of potassium on their tongue, whatever they have eaten, it will get vomited out. So both appear to be similar, mishri and sugar, mishri and fitkiri, but there is a huge difference. Similarly, the pastimes of the Lord, especially his pastime with the gopis, they appear to be mundane, like the affairs of this material world, but they are highly exalted. They are on the platform of love. They are not on the platform of lust. The platform of love is tat sukhe sukhitvam. Rupa Goswami says in Bhakta Rasamrita Sindhu, a person is only happy in the happiness of the beloved. He doesn't have any separate plans for his own happiness. If you see the people in this world, they want to be happy on their own. The karmis want, karmkandis or karmis, they want the things of this material world and want to become happy. The yogis, they want the siddhis of this world. The jnanis, although they reject all the pleasures of this material world, thinking to be a hindrance in their spiritual path, still they want freedom from the miseries. They want moksha. So they have the desire for something. They have some desire for their own well-being. But the gopis of Vrindavan, they don't want anything for themselves. Their life is wholly dedicated for the service of Krishna. Whatever pleases Krishna gives them pleasure also. Tat sukhe sikitvam. The happiness, the pleasure of Krishna becomes their happiness. If Krishna is happy in their insult, they are ready to get insulted. If Krishna is happy in their getting burnt in the fire of hell, they are ready to go in hell also. If Krishna is happy in their sense gratification, then they are ready to accept sense gratification also. So this is the nature of love. Tat sukhe sikitvam. A person becomes happy in the happiness of the beloved. He doesn't have any separate agenda for his own happiness. So this is the platform of love, and this platform of love is appreciated by all the great acharyas. You see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was such a strict sannyasi. He never used to meet or talk or look at women. He even doesn't used to say the name woman. He used to say Prakriti. Like that. In Chaitanya Charitamrita he says Prakriti. But he says Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajvadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. The highest form of worship is done by the gopis of Vrindavan. Narad Muni is such a renunciate. He is the Acharya of Bhakti. And he wants to enter into that Ras Lila. So we can understand how pure it will be. Lord Shiva wants to enter into Ras Lila. Both of them had to bathe in Kusum Sarovar to get a Gopi Sarup to enter into Ras Lila. And then after participating in the Ras Lila, Narad Muni again he bathed into the Kusum Sarovar, and again he regained his Narad Muni form. And after that, in the foothills of Govardhan, he stayed in his near Narad Kund and wrote Narad Bhakti Sutra, like that. So all these great personalities, they worship such pastimes of Krishna with the gopis. We see Sukadeva Goswami, we see Bhishma Pitama is a staunch brahmachari, but the fag end of his life, when he is about to leave his body, he is remembering about the gopi. Sukadeva Goswami is such a Paramhansa, he doesn't know the difference between man and woman. And he is narrating these pastimes. So you can understand how worshipable these pastimes are actually. They are not of this mundane world. Today is also the disappearance day of Jayadeva Goswami. So a little bit, Dharmatma Prabhu told me that to speak about him also. So Jayadeva Goswami is a very great devotee of the Lord, especially he is known for his Gita Govinda, which is very exalted prayers about the pastimes of Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa. They are really very exalted. And his pastimes, they are relished. You can take out the 13th chapter, Adi Lila 13th chapter. So in Śrīmad Bhagavatam 3rd canto, there is a verse that says, Shrutasya pumsam suchirashramasya nanvanjasa suribhiridito tat kulano shravanam mukunda padaravinda hridayeshu yesham. That people, they work very hard to hear from the Guru about the Supreme Lord. But what is the benefit about hearing from the scriptures for a long time from the Guru? The benefit is to get an opportunity to hear about those devotees of the Lord in whose hearts Lord Mukunda is residing. So the benefit about reading the scripture, hearing from the Guru, is that one gets to hear about the devotees of the Lord, the pure devotees of the Lord. So one such devotee is Jayadeva Goswami. You can give that. So there, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is Adi Lila, 13th chapter. Vidyapati Jayadeva Chandi Daser Gita Aswadena Ramananda Swarupa Sahita. He is saying that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to relish the songs of Vidyapati Jayadeva Goswami Chandidas along with Sarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai. So in this, Prabhupada has mentioned little bit about Jayadeva Goswami. So Jayadeva was born during the reign of Maharaj Lakshman Sen of Bengal in the 11th or 12th century of the Shaka era. His father was Bhojadev and his mother was Vamadevi. For many years he lived in Navadvip, then the capital of Bengal. His birthplace was in the Birbhum district in the village of Kendu Bilwa. So on today's day there is a great mela there, fest there in this village. In the opinion of some authorities, however, he was born in Orissa, and still others say that he was born in southern India. He passed the last days of his life in Jagannath Puri. One of his famous books is Gita Govinda, which is full of transcendental mellow feelings of separation from Krishna. And the gopis felt separation from Krishna before the Rasa dance, as mentioned in Śrīmad Bhagavatam, and the Gita Govinda expresses such feelings. There are many commentaries on Gita Govinda by many Vaishnavas. So, Jayadeva Goswami is mentioned here. He was born in Birbhum district of Bengal. And while he was very young, he was just 7 years old, his parents passed away. And he, as an orphan, he did not went to some other place, or he did not go to some of his relative. He went to the banks of Ganges. He, in a secluded place, he built a hut for himself. 7 years old boy. And somehow, by the mercy of Lord, he was very eloquent in Sanskrit. And he used to write eloquent Sanskrit poetries. 7-year-old boy. So he built a hut for himself beside the Ganga river, and he started writing poetry. And in his beautiful voice, his voice was also very beautiful. He started singing those poetries, those Sanskrit poetry he used to write on his own. And wherever there is devotion, Krishna does get attracted. So one fine day he was sitting on the bank of Ganga and he was singing his poetry. So there came a deity flowing in the water of Ganga. So that was very beautiful deity, and it was in threefold bending form with a color like that of monsoon rain cloud. The eyes were very big, practically extending towards the ears, and the lips were very red like bimba fruit. And he took that deity and placed that deity in his hut and started worshipping that deity. And what was the method of his worship? He used to compose Sanskrit poetry about Radha Krishna and sing that poetry. This was his method of worship. Soon his fame was spreading far and wide. Many people were very, very shocked that how such a young boy can write such an eloquent poetry. And that too about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And not only that, Jadhav Goswami was born 300 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That time the worship of Rādhā Kṛṣṇa was not that much famous. So his subject matter was not only the Supreme Lord Krishna, but also Srimati Radharani. He used to write poems about Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa. That was even more shocking for other people, because Rādhā Kṛṣṇa worship was not very prevalent at that time. Although mention of Radharani is there in the scriptures, but Rādhā Kṛṣṇa worship was not very prevalent 300 years before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he was writing eloquent poetry, and his poetry was spreading very far and wide. His fame was spreading very far and wide. And all the people, the musicians, they used to learn his poetry and sing in public also. So one fine day, Lakshman Sen, who was the king of that place, he was hearing the music from one song from one of the musicians in his court, and that musician was singing the poetry of Jadhav Goswami. So king was very happy to hear that poetry, and he asked that, how did you compose this? He said, I did not compose it. Actually, it is composed by Jadhav Goswami, who is a renunciate, and he lives nearby only. Then the king said, okay, call him. They said, no, he will not come here. He is a renunciate. So king said, okay, I will only go. So Lakshman Sen went to that place in an ordinary clothes. He went there, and later he revealed that I am the king, and I have a desire that you live in my court, you live in my palace, and I will maintain you. Jadhav Goswami said, I am being maintained by Krishna. I don't need your maintenance. The king said, okay, that's very good, but the saintly people, they are merciful to the people of this world. So you please come and at least stay in my garden. I have a beautiful Champa garden. You make your small hut there and live there. So Jadhav Goswami agreed, and he lived in that hut, and he was Raj Purohit of the king for some time. After that, after some time, he moved to Puri, Jagannath Puri. And in Jagannath Puri also he continued the same thing. But in Puri one thing happened, that there was a Brahman who lived there. And this Brahman was having a daughter. This daughter was very beautiful and adorned with all the saintly qualities. When she became of the marriageable age, this Brahman took her daughter to in front of Lord Jagannath and said, Lord Jagannath, I offer my daughter to you. I am going, bye-bye. So he was running, and Jagannath called, okay, stop. There is one of my devotees, his name is Jaydev. You go and give your daughter to him in marriage. Like that. So that Brahman took the daughter, went near Jaydev Goswami, and left the daughter and ran away. Jaydev Goswami was not knowing what to do. Then Jaydev Goswami said, okay, you are here with me, so wherever you want to go, tell me. I will go and drop you there, but I cannot marry you. Then Padmavati, her name was Padmavati started crying, and she said, actually Lord Jagannath himself ordered that my father should give me in marriage to you. If you don't follow his order, it will be a disobedience. Like that she said. Then Jaydev Goswami, okay, finally he agreed, and he married Padmavati. And he was living there in Odisha, in Puri, and composing Geet Govind there, the beautiful poetry, Geet Govind. So at one point of time when he was composing Geet Govind, he got a desire to write about the emotions of Rādhā and Kṛṣṇa. So Krishna is thinking, Krishna is praying to Radharani. He got a desire to write in this way, that please be merciful on me, please put your feet on my head. So first he got that desire, but later he was thinking that how can I write such a poetry? Actually, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is the Sarva Karan. He is the master of all the living entities. How can he become subservient to Radharani? It's not possible. So he left that idea and said, okay, let me go and take bath. And he said to Padmavati, after coming, I will take lunch. So please make the lunch ready. So he went away. In the meantime, Krishna, Jagannath himself, came in the form of Jaydev Goswami and went to the straight to the room and completed that poetry. Smaragaralam khandanam mama sirasi mandanam dehi pada pallavam udaram. That please ornament my head with the lotus bud like lotus feet, of yours, and that will be my greatest satisfaction. He wrote that poetry with his own hands. And while he was leaving, Padmavati said, "Arey, your prasad is ready. Why don't you take prasad?" Said, "Okay, give prasad." So Krishna in the form of Jayadeva Goswami took prasad from the hands of Padmavati and went away. Later Jayadeva Goswami said, "Okay, I am hungry. Where is prasad?" Padmavati said, "Arey, just now you went out, took prasad and went out." Said, "I just came just now." Immediately he went to the room and he saw that the poetry was completed. Smargarala khandanam mam sirasi mandanam dehi pada pallavam udaram. Krishna is requesting Radha Rani that please place your lotus feet on my head. Your lotus feet are the ornaments of my head, and that will be my greatest satisfaction. Krishna is praying to Radha Rani in that way. So such poet was Jayadeva Goswami. After some time he went to Vṛndāvana also. He came to Vṛndāvana also. He used to stay in Kesi Ghat, and he went back to Puri. And Puri only he left his body. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sing his songs with great delight, used to relish his songs along with Sarup Damodar Goswami and Ramananda Rai. These are very exalted topics actually, and only to be relished by a Paramhansa. Gita Govind is really very exalted. It deals about the separation of the gopis with Krishna, that what were the feelings of Radharani, the gopis. So they are really very exalted. So we are, our time is over. We will end here only. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Jayadeva Goswami ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hey, there is one question.
दुरात्मा लोग हैं तो